All right, and welcome back to another interesting installment of the Minetest gameplay. Yeah. And it's 81 degrees, 81.1 degrees in Chicago. Yes, it is. We are out, like I stated before, we were coming out to the modern world. Take a fly around here. Go down this street. How cool is that? Haven't been here for a while. So, how's everybody doing in this crazy, goofy world? There's that building there. I did something real cool with it. I was playing around with all the world edit commands, and I will show you what I don't know why that fluctuates like that, those markings. Doesn't matter. So we are over in the new section, obviously, and I had two problems that I wanted to solve. One was the back of the buildings. And if you go down any big city, you'll see, blocks and blocks of buildings, but you're also, you never see the backs of them. So this is how I solved this one and put parking back here and stuff. And there's going to be more buildings back here. However, and it's real cool if you go downtown, downtown of any major city where there's a huge amount of buildings. And if you go behind the buildings, it's like this maze of back alleys and other stuff connected. It's just a sea of concrete, kind of what this sort of is here, but this looks very beautiful. And in real life, not so much. I mean, it's all concrete and dirty. Years and years ago, right before I went into DeVry, I went to, I worked for a printing company very briefly, and it was delivering all the materials to downtown businesses. This is back when, everything was off of a real printing press. So, yeah. And, you'd have to go downtown and make deliveries in some of these back alleys and to businesses where their loading docks were. If you've never been on Lower Wacker Drive in Chicago, it's a trip and a half. Especially if you want to recreate the Blues Brothers, car chase. They ended up on Lower Wacker. But take a look at this new building. Very cool. Now you say, wait a minute, that looks like that building over yonder. Over somewhere. There it is. Way over there. And you would be right. It is the exact building. And I placed it. And I placed another one a little bit down to play with the rotate commands. And I figured it out. Well, for as much as I want to figure it out. You have rotate. And if you go on the y-axis and you do that, it will turn the building around. However, what I did find is that like all the doors and windows and stuff, they got completely messed up. The problem is when you use those commands, I'm going through my building here, these doors were reversed. So not only did they open reverse, but they both opened, instead of opening on the outside, they opened on the inside. So as you could see, here's the building. And it's going to be pretty cool as the backside. So there is that. We have some definition back here. So we're going to take a look at that building too. So back here, I dressed up this building, put some windows in, made it real cool, a little alleyway back here. And there's my fox. He likes me. He really, really likes me because I fed him. There, now and I tamed him. Yes, I did. Put some more doors and stuff. I want to put like a fire escape back here. What is that? That's a doggy. I want to put a fire escape back here, but then I'd have to do it to like all the buildings. So I'm gonna play with that. I don't think these buildings will lend themselves to it. So we have this building here, and just by changing, and I didn't want to remove it, and just by changing the front and pulling that front out a little bit and changing the color and changing some of the decorations on it, it ended up turning out pretty cool. So the problem I have with these is we have a bunch of tall buildings, and this building looks completely out of character for down here. But I'm going to leave it because you will see that. You know, they had an extra plot of land here, and this is how they filled it. So yeah. But these were meant to be like smaller rows of businesses and apartments and stuff, and it turned out good. I am very happy with it, but now I have to continue it and make it. So some of the changes that I'm going to be going through are this here. This looks awful. This part looks, it was exactly what I was going for, but I'm not happy with this brick. So I want to try to find a different material for this. And it might be just this or a darker color around it. But I don't think that this section, the brick lends itself well. So yeah, and it butts up here. Let's take a look inside here. So we do have like, now this looks cool. I do like the stone inside. So I might just change the outside, but then I also have to change. I don't have to change that. I just have to change this top part and that part. So that's what we're going to look at doing. Come over here. Now, if you look at this entrance is real cool. It looks grand. However, this is where I say where detail comes in. And if you are not, satisfied or that looks too plain, well, do something like this. Just play around with it. So I brought it out a little bit, gave it some more shape and definition, used an angle block here just to bring it out and give it that more a bigger presence. Yeah, that's the word. A bigger presence. And on top of here, I redid the garden, which we will show, and I added this to the tops of all to these two buildings. And it's a little bit exaggerated because so you could see it from the ground. So it looks cool. And it's lit up at night. So yeah, and it'll actually tie into the building. So what I'm slowly doing is I'm going to make it so, you know, if I run out of ideas for buildings, what I usually do is I do another project. Look at the street lines. They're just doing that. And go inside there. Also, got a question here from Frank. It says, for the past few weeks, I've been getting this error. Async error, failed to bind socket. Port already in use. This happens randomly. Sometimes Minetest starts normally. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 times before the game is loaded. Any suggestions on what is happening or a fix? Running on an Intel i7. Ooh, with 32 gigabunnies of RAM. Not running as a server. Just playing alone, typically in survivor mode. Well, there's your problem right there. Survivor mode. No, just kidding. As you know, I play in creative. Yes, I do. So what I did find is, and the first thing that comes to mind is it won't bind the port address. So when you, even if you play Minetest in, there's that crazy squirrel. Even if you play Minetest in single player or on your computer, you're not playing on a server, it sort of creates a server client on its own. So you don't see it, but it'll say when it's booting up, it'll say, creating server. So it creates its own little server and then it connects to it. From my understanding, and I could be way wrong as I go table jumping here, but I did do a picture. And let's go to, there we go. And this picture you will see, and this is under the settings, and it's under server single player. And if you scroll down, you'll see network. And some of the things that when I was researching this, some of the things that I found was make sure that the bind address is blank. And then your server port is 30,000. And you can change that. You can change it to 30,002, which some people have done. I don't know what version you're running. I'm running 5.1. And, but I haven't gotten that error in a long time, and it was usually network related. Something on the network or on the computer is trying to use that port. Or you might have a bind address where it can't find. So what that usually does, there's a conflict in ports when it's trying to boot up. Also, if you try to boot up Minetest like twice, it'll try to secure that port. And you could go into Task Manager and see if there's two instances running of the same. Such like that. So hopefully that helps a little bit. I would try that. That's everything. All the forum posts that I found linked to that. That it can't reach the bind address, or there's something else on the network that is being port forwarded to port 30,000. So those are two ideas to try. I would definitely hit the Minetest forums, or if anybody knows anything more on that, they can, put it in the show notes, show description, or in the comments to help out. Yeah. So this was the garden, finished garden, and it's for the employees to come up here and do whatever. And on the first floor, you could have like food court and other things to do that, but we got a little pergola, and we got some tables set up and some nice little atmosphere for the people that work in these buildings. So on that note, let's go downstairs here, and you go right into the it takes up a floor. But this floor can be divided. We have our elevators and we have our stairs going down. We got some just cool views. We put a stairwell in on here. But this building more or less is done. Well, it's done to the point where now I can start detailing the inside. I can start figuring out what I want to do with it. I also tried... It might look, now on my computer, it looks bright, but I'm looking in the recording, and there's Doggy. I'm looking in the OBS window, and it looks a little dark. So I've been playing around with the gamma, the game gamma, the higher net. So you go into the settings, and you could set that for the client, and it will set the We'll change the picture brightness. So I'm playing with that. I got to get started on this area here. Now, in my city, there will be, what is that? Is that another doggy? No, it's chicken or a duck. Cool. In my city, and the one thing I hate about cities, and you can tell I haven't, hi, Mr. Butterfly. In my city, this all back here is going to be leveled out. I don't want to get rid of this. I want to keep this. I want to try turning it into some sort of park. So I'm going to do something back here. And over here, you can see this is where I stopped. I have to do something. Obviously, I have to get rid of that hill. Ooh, you see the curtain is lifted. That's ugly. But I've been trying to and not mess with the subway system. So obviously the road's going to connect, keep going. But this was a mistake, but it's kind of cool. If you look at it, it's like when I was copying and pasting this building over here, the ground floor. And I've been thinking about trying to do something with it, like an old abandoned building or something like that. This is the center section, obviously. But I have to fix all this, as you can see here. So there is that. But that's behind the curtain. Don't look behind the curtain. So that building's coming along nicely. I want to start getting this area, but I don't want everything to be like in the real cities. I don't want everything to be a concrete jungle like this back here. This is kind of cool for this area. And typically there would be more street or more buildings along this block. But back here, I'm going to do something different. So buildings are going to continue down this way, obviously, and another side street if I put it in. But in the center here is going to be like a park area that people in these buildings or people off the street can go back in there and enjoy the park. So that will take care of that. This street obviously has to connect this way. I've been working on the area. But I'm real hesitant about getting rid of these hills. So I am going to incorporate them. So this area over here, there's going to be another building in here, but these trees are staying. I don't know what happened when I was doing some major world edit. Now this tree's going and that bush is going, but those trees are staying. So there's going to be another building in between here. And I'm going to try to incorporate these hills. That's cool how that turned out. I didn't do any of that, but I'm going to have to do something with this cliff area. And it's not that bad. So, and if you see back here, I've hidden as we fly through. Sometimes I just go into the game. I don't even actually build anything. I just fly through it. So I use these poplar trees, and I use way too many, obviously. But this section is staying. This little cliff area. This is all staying. I kind of like it. There's nothing more that I want to put back here. And this is the hotel and mall. So it kind of divides it. So you could do anything you want in this game. You could flatten it out. Now back here, I have to, because this area has got to stay. This wooded area. So I'm going to transition it in, and you can tell this will be easy because it starts going down. So I'm going to transition all this in because there's going to be more buildings back here. But like I might keep this and just bring it out a little bit and then come down and then do another section of town. One of the things that I want to do is an industrial area. It might look kind of plain, but every city, every town has one, and little like rows of garages and maybe a couple factories. Take one of these plain buildings and put it in there and turn it into a factory. That would be most cool. Hi, Mr. Turtle. Yeah, you look cool. So that is that. Now, what is that? Oh, that's a wolf. I still have to look into the pets mod where it just keeps randomly throwing animals. And I know sometimes that's pretty cool, but not really. I want to start working on these buildings here to, what do you call that? There's a cat somewhere. Work on some of these now. If I was going to do any kind of fire escape, it's not really that hard. If I started here, 3 blocks. I don't know. Let's look at that real quick. Let's go into the bridge. So I have the industrial bridges mod. There's a bunch of bridges mods that I have. There we go. These. So how would I want if I took one of those and took, I don't know. Oh, where is it at? There, that one. And we need stairs. Obviously. Get rid of some stuff here. Oh, and the others. So we need, let's play with that. So if we come up here and go on the second floor. Whoa, look at that lag. That was special. Come back out here. I think I could do something like that. So we can put a fire escape here, huh? Going to cheat a little bit. Did I turn off? Yeah, I disabled it. We come out like this, and then yeah, I'm full of ideas. Go here, now we go down. It might be, so if we go here, here. Oh, that'll be perfect, because this one, take this off and put, no, put that there. Put that there. Turn that. Then we'll put another one. I like using helper blocks. That there. Turn that like that. Then we can put our that there. Is it going to run into? Of course it will. I don't know. I'm just playing with ideas here. Yeah, it is going to yeah, it comes down. But let's see how that would look. Turning into nighttime already. I haven't been doing it that long. This will not be a 40-minute video. It's not bad. I could turn it one more time. That's an idea. Now I'm obviously missing, what do you call it? Usually you see, I want to bring it back. So if I go here, usually on fire escapes, you will see, like there'll be a ladder. It's not just a way to, you just can't get up. You have to pull down, a ladder. Now this ain't gonna work because it'll block. See, I run right into that. So that didn't work. You know what? I'm just going to leave it like it was. I could ultimately put a ladder. This lag is driving me crazy. So you'd have to go over one more. I'm wondering if I can just move this all one. Because that would solve my problem. Yes, it would. Boy, this is just riveting. Move one. Where did it move it to? It didn't move it. Oh my gosh. Oh. Look direction. Move. Now. Look direction. Move. Yes, that is you have to make sure that you keep, you have to make sure that when you place these, that they're going in the right direction. That your settings aren't messed up. I like that. I could actually... I'm going to leave that like that. We're going to play with that. As you saw that the settings had continued. Let's put a door. There we go. Now we have a fire exit. We have this apartment up here or business, whatever you want to put in here. So we have made everything. Get off there. There we go. So that looks cool. Oh. I accidentally moved that. But I like that's one thing I like about the cities is that, you know, you see those buildings and they have the fire escapes where you know, people don't have balconies, but off their main windows they actually do have a fire escape. Now I could do something similar back here, but actually play it off of the window where it looks, you know, like it looks like a patio, but it's not. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to get hung up on detail. That looks good. And I could probably get away with doing something over here. So there you have it. And the dog likes it. See? He is on top of that. Very cool. I don't kind of like that it's 3. I could solve that by moving the door, but then the door wouldn't be equal with that. So that's cool. That is done. So we have a little like parking loading area back here, and we're going to put a park in. The medieval world, I went back in there, and I really went to town on putting in trees. That is one weird looking horse. Yes, you are. Just go from there. So this is all coming together very nicely. This building turned out really cool. I think the thing that I like the most about it is the color palette, and I like that entrance. And then I'm going to do something with the back area. There's a froggy. This building is, I made a mistake and turned the mistake into something cool. I like the way it looks. I like the colors. I'm going to keep that. I can also redo this entire building again, as long as it's facing. Another thing that Rotate did not like is it did not like these upside down stairs. So all of this got messed up. All of it. All the way up to the third or to the top floor. And that does not go well. So we have an idea of what we're going to do in these areas here. Another building here. And I also have to start putting in support services. I mean, this is all cool and everything, but you know, with the way these go, it's not really a fire escape, but it is, because it gets you up to the second floor. And this is supposed to be a garden area for the people in this building here and for here, because you can't get out here. So there is that. And then it goes into here, the convention center with the park and the seating for all the people. Into this. I love this park. I want to put some more in, but I went nuts with the trees. So don't look at those. We have the, it looks like a school in that building there. So I have a lot to continue. There's a lot more work that can be done here. Just by, plus all the interiors of the buildings. Now we come down here, and what I'm talking about support, the support structure is that building I'm going to do something with this building because it's too short here. I'm thinking about extending it this way by 5 because it has the depth and the helipad. GTA 5. So it has a helipad. The back part is fine. It's just that it needs more length. So I'm going to play with that. That should be easy. So, oh, this area lags so bad. So even if I go 5, if I take this and go 5 and then just extend everything, it's just going to make it longer. I think that would really, well, because it's going to screw that up. If I come out here at the corner and just extend it, I think that'll look spot on. But support services, like I need some more restaurants. And we have the restaurant, we have the convenience station, we have the mall over here, and we have gas and repair shop. And this lag is horrendous. But it's my fault. We've been having power fluctuations. So we got this cool bridge over here. And this is going to be going into country. All this is going to remain. All these like caverns and such are going to remain. And then it's going to come out. I would like to tie it in. And I think I can somewhere down here where I can come behind here and tie this in to this area. Look how close that comes. Right there. That'll work. So that's going to about do it. We're already at 33 minutes. The lag is killing me. We got some really cool views. Got some great ideas to come up with. Hopefully Frank gets his problem taken care of. Get some more streets put in. Got some more buildings done. Figured out what I'm going to do with the back area. That looks neat. I really do like that. I could have probably done something better with this, but for right now, that's good. And then this building. So even if you're unsatisfied with that, you can turn it into that just by having different blocks, using different style blocks. You see, we have upside down stairs, creating detail. Yeah. So go from there. So that is going to do it. And I still have to finish the theater. I have to finish all these buildings in here. I have to put some more artwork in here. I have to put another business down here next to the floral shop. And go from there. So I have my work cut out for me. Yeah. Of course I do. All right. Which is a positive because I'm not going to run out of ideas anytime soon. Plus, I still have the medieval world that I have to finish. So this lag is getting real bad. And I'm usually not, I usually don't have this much lag. We're at 19 FPS. It's almost like, yeah, disabled. View range 100. I think the area, because the weather conditions, it's been hot. Everybody's running their air conditioner. So I heard a transformer kicking up, and I live by a wooded area. And every once in a while, a tree branch will play some havoc with the power lines that are running down the prairie path next to my building. And you'll hear the transformer flare up. You know, you'll hear something shorting, something grounding. And then the power went out. All my clocks went back to zeros. And, yeah. So now I have to walk while this is rendering. I have to go walk around and reset all my clocks. So, yeah. And we're going to leave it at that. There's my other bird. Cool. So, thank you very much for joining. And until the next episode, goodbye.